I wouldn't tell you to cut a bad deal. Like,
I don't
take the
know.
500,000, go buy some albums and listen to the albums. Like, it's all there. If you piece it together and really listen to the music for the words, for what it is, it's all there. Everything that I said was gonna happen, happened. Everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done. And there's the blueprint. The blueprint, celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities.
That's beautiful.
Like real people.
Yeah. What advice would you have for men who have caused pain in marriages? I mean, it's easy. I mean, somebody like you. I mean,
the best apology is change behavior, right? Mm-hmm. But change behavior, one. And then also you have to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge the pain. You have to let that person. That's just the way the world was set up. But just like the things that we were able to overcome and where we sit now today, and as far as like, success, I just look at it like all the people that I was inspired by, like Muhammad Ali was like, he gave me my bravado. Mm-hmm. I'm like, mm-hmm. When people see that, and then it gets into a space where it's like, wait, you guys are mad at me about the same thing you guys are doing. And it's just, it gets into a weird space.
Are you in meetings now in your business life?
Yeah, I could take it back for, how long we here? A couple
I guess
hours.
we'll see.
Well, congratulations on the album. The album's in stores right now.
Yes, and you were on Twitter last night. That was incredible. A lot of people didn't believe that was you.
That was amazing. Too high to insure rap shows and, all these things that were making it impossible for us to play these buildings. But back then, it was like, I really had to, no, I'm taking.
This is something you should hear. Federal officials are said to have found hundreds of tapes recording unsettling occurrences, some of which are shockingly much worse than what Cassie detailed in her case. But here's the real shocker: Diddy recently became popular on the internet following his arrest. These videos reportedly included footage of other celebrities, including Jay's. Yes, you did hear properly. After Diddy is finally sentenced, the powerful people he was working with will not allow him to live for very long, and he is very aware of this, so he's putting everything out there before they take his crusty self out of here. According to reports, Diddy is now threatening Jay and all of his former partners, asking that they help get him out of jail if they refuse. Diddy has a lot to say and isn't going to stop talking, so if I were Jay-Z, I would hire the best lawyers I could find. According to a source who contacted TMZ, Diddy was recently detained and put under federal prison in New York on Monday night. When Homeland Security raided Diddy's hotel room in Midtown late on Monday, they found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubes, which they took from his residences.
We made a bail appeal to Judge Carter. It did not go our way. The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and I believe inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit of the Metropolitan Detention Facility.
Close friends call me Puff, so
I
would call me Puff. Yeah, Puff.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll call you Puff. I never know. When I see it, just go, hey, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it also depends on what kind of mood I'm in, If I'm acting crazy, that's Diddy. You know what I'm saying? If I'm like dancing real smooth with a girl, that's Puff Daddy. If like I'm looking like I'm scared and nervous or shy, that's Sean. And Puff is just.
What happened? What do the women call you?
Because you were at the Super Bowl, so you've got to be. You probably have not slept.
Yes. Let me take my glasses. I hadn't slept. Hi, everybody.
It's when the glasses come off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ritual here.
I know. When the glasses come off, you're always, hi, everybody. It's like the charm sets in. But so were you up like all night long at the Super Bowl?
Additionally, Diddy has been charged with pushing women to have sex with male prostitutes until they were so worn out that they needed IV drips. He is said to have given these drips after the lesson since the women were left feeling completely depleted and, in certain cases, dangerously dehydrated. As you may recall, Homeland Security conducted impromptu raids on Diddy's homes across the U.S., capturing footage of his kids being detained and agents leaving with a large amount of evidence. Diddy reportedly kept recordings of these incidents to keep control and leverage over his victims. Additionally, the case is still ongoing, Diddy's arrest was made based on the proof gathered during these raids. Federal prosecutors revealed that they have several recordings of phone talks between Diddy and his entourage, during which they tried to intimidate victims into staying quiet or changing their testimonies in an effort to avoid being prosecuted. Startling claims have been revealed by Diddy's indictment. It is said that he forced other sex workers to attend graphic parties with him, his friends, victims, and others, by making them fly into the U.S. There were reportedly hours-long meetings that were attended by none other than Jay-Z. Diddy and Jay-Z used to be quite close. In fact, Diddy once referred to Jay as his brother from a different mother.
I've written out a very detailed spec sheet. They may say they understand it, but then when and they have given me the appearance that they understand the job and they do a stellar interview. But then, you know, when we're 3 months into the trenches.
Yeah, I don't think, here's the deal. What you do is you use the personality profile testing, background check.
And I was like, yo, you gotta tell me if this is as hot, as great as I really believe it is. You know, she heard it, she was like, wherever he's at, you better go get him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And
now that's interesting that you said you called your girl.
Yeah.
Because women are the biggest consumers of music.
Without a doubt.
So how did you know that early on?
Because everything I did was for girls. My avenues that I'm going to make sure I could share the knowledge that I have, things you've been seeing me doing with Revolt, even the way I've been handling, going into different industries and being very, very focused that it's bigger than what I'm doing right now. It's about like really changing the game for the future so we all get an even chance, a fair chance, a fair playing field. And, I tell people I'm living the Black American dream.
Yeah.
In an earlier interview, Diddy claimed that after his arrest, only his mother and Jay-Z were allowed to use his government name. When Jaguar Wright made these KLA claims, many felt compelled to support her because of Jay-Z's own history of troubling behavior, which matches the accusations against Diddy. Despite these parallels, Jay-Z has apparently avoided scrutiny. For example, there were rumors circulating years ago that Jay-Z was involved in a relationship with a 15-year-old called Foxy. Despite these rumors, Jay-Z has been making steps to distance himself. Jay-Z reportedly used the promise of a Hollywood job to entice a young woman to date him. After taking advantage of her, he reportedly dumped her and then blackballed her from the business to ensure her silence. Dame Dash, Jay-Z's former best friend, looked to confirm this to CA when he was questioned about it. Although he did not directly refute the accusations, he said he was not in a position to speak and that Jay-Z should be questioned about the situation since he was the one who allegedly exploited Foxy, despite his reluctance to talk about Jay-Z and Foxy. Dame Jay says that Dame Dash did not hold back when disclosing disturbing information about Jay's relationship with Aaliyah, which Dame Jay secretly and resolutely pursued.
What's up the music? Okay, turn this out. Let's wake up. This is November 5th.
So do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question.
Right.
I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine.
Right.
I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows.
Right.
So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out and was gonna go ahead about my life. The next issue, that wasn't even the next issue because them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New York is commenting on me getting shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, read it, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen
Prosecutors were arguing is not only does your client pose a flight risk because obviously he's incredibly wealthy, has access to planes and a lot of staff. Even though you said he turned over his passport to you months ago, they were also worried about him being able to interfere with witnesses and calling them. And so I guess the question is, how do you assure the court that that won't happen if prosecutors are saying this is someone who's attempted to bribe security staff and has already threatened and interfered with witnesses?
So I think the most important thing, even more important than the passport, is that Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th. As soon as we realized that this indictment was going to be coming down in a matter of...
He supposedly went so far as to invite her to his parents' house in a desperate attempt to win her over. But Aaliyah was also interested in Dame, and Jay's ego reportedly found it difficult to handle this rejection. This is a shocking mess, but the chaos doesn't stop there. Dame Dash dropped some more stunning information about Jay-Z. He said he had to break up with Jay after learning that he was so power-hungry that he was prepared to ruin the futures of impressionable young women in the business. In context, the timing of Dame's statements coincides with a particularly sinister time when R. Kelly was coming under fire for his unethical behavior with minors and for forging paperwork to marry Aaliyah at the age of 15, when Aaliyah tragically dies in that plane crash. There are rising claims that her death was a ritual sacrifice carried out by powerful figures in the industry, including Jay-Z and R. Kelly, as part of a sinister Illuminati plot. Jay-Z was blatantly supporting R. Kelly. Not only did he work with R. Kelly on a joint project, but his actions communicated a shocking disregard for the victims, effectively continuing to prop up R. Kelly's career despite the mounting claims.
Disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight, it did open the floodgates. But in that complaint, Jake, she details an incident that she alleged happened in March of 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles, physically assaulted by Diddy. Now our team in the LA Bureau, we have got our hands on that surveillance footage, and it appears to corroborate Cassie's claims identically.
We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra. I was actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra. I would say.
Fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and pause, but like, just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes, you know what I'm saying, before pause was invented, you know what I'm saying, but it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world, and I'm
what the speculation grew when disturbing information about her last moments emerged. It was claimed that Aaliyah was not supposed to be on that plane. She was reportedly given a sedative against her will and forced onto it while unconscious. Sadly, Aaliyah and Foxy were not the only women Jay-Z was supposedly after. Even though the official reason for Kathy White's mysterious death, a brain aneurysm, was widely criticized as a cover-up, Hollywood Street King, a well-known blogger, refused to accept the status quo and took things into his own hands. He started an extensive investigation that unearthed startling revelations. Kathy White was a rumored mistress who was apparently killed after threatening to reveal their clandestine affair. By getting in touch with an NYPD detective working on Kathy White's death case, Hollywood Street King pulled off a breathtaking revelation. And believe me when I say that this detective didn't hold back. Yesterday, I got shocking news that Kathy and Michelle Wyatt had passed away suddenly. I quickly started an investigation, and the results contradicted the widely circulated reports that Kathy died from a brain aneurysm. Hollywood Street King released an explosive article outlining what he found from this officer and others he interviewed. Here's the scoop from the piece. The fact is far more hazy.
It's far murkier.
Because it was going on the premises of sex. They're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage. And you know what's so crazy is, bro, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this. And yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got sexual charges and everything on him. But he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN, is keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later.
And I was excited, you know what I'm saying? Me and Mace are cool.
It was an exciting verse, my brother.
Yeah, thank you. You know, me and Mace are cool. We've kept in touch over the years. And you know, I mean, I love Mace. I mean, if it wasn't for Mace, I wouldn't be where I was at today. And, you know, me and him, you know, was like Batman and Robin. So it felt good to be able to get back on the record with him. And also then, this is one of the hottest records, the most intense records in the club. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't want to hoard the information. I don't want to hoard the good feelings, the anything. So my you know, right now my thing is just about, you know, just being that shining example. God sent me here to inspire you, and I'm just going to keep getting busy and doing the work. But it is that transition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This MMM dropping today is really.
We are presently awaiting the results of the autopsy and toxicology tests to determine the reason for Kathy's death, according to an NYPD detective who spoke with me covertly. The reason for Kathy White's mysterious death is unknown, but the NYPD told me that she died exactly 1 year to the day after I published her relationship with Jay-Z. After Kathy made a 911 call from her apartment at 130 West 19th Street in Manhattan, emergency personnel responded and took her to Beth Israel Hospital, where she finally passed away. At this point, it would be premature to link Kathy's death to an aneurysm. In addition to doing a toxicology study, since it is possible that Kathy was poisoned, an autopsy is planned to determine the exact cause of death. We will have to wait 2 weeks for the results of this probe. 2 weeks prior to her sad passing, a big tabloid inquired about Kathy's connection to Jay-Z, but she only gave a limited amount of information. According to one source, Kathy threatened to divulge their affair to Jay if he didn't comply with her requests. And this was astonishingly short of 48 hours after Beyoncé and Jay-Z announced their pregnancy. Kathy's death happened under highly dubious circumstances, adding to the growing mystery. According to Jaguar Wright, Kathy was heard begging for her life in the few seconds before she passed away, and who could forget the time? Kathy did not, as previously stated, die from a brain aneurysm, swiftly exposing Jay-Z for allegedly having Universe in his inner circle, Kanye West. Although Kanye is well known for his outrageous antics and quirky humor, when it comes to revealing difficult facts.
Puff just said, nobody's going to acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen. We're having a good time, yo. Your Usher made it in the... Hey, yo.
I'm the singer this for the most part. Yeah. Gord's here. He's on I'm the singer for the most part. Yeah. Gord's here. He's on
That's what they're looking for. So now they're going to go through all those devices. If somebody got any kind of weird fetishes that they got little kids or little girls or something like that in any kind of pictures or any kind of photos that they took out of there, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bro, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that.
While many have theorized that Beyoncé may have first been another target of Jay's deceptive ways, it appears that she gradually got involved in his scams. Jay is an honest man. Beyoncé's a name linked with power and mystery. According to a now-deleted 2007 interview, Jay was getting close to 30 when he started dating Beyoncé, who had just turned 18 and was still working out the intricacies of a relationship. For those of you asking who this is, it's none other than Beyoncé's former bodyguard. He's not just talking out of turn, he watched everything he's revealing in that video firsthand. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Jay shockingly admitted that he had met Beyoncé when she was just 16, but he chose to wait until she was 18 before making his move. Recall the claims Cassie made against Diddy. She claimed that Diddy exposed her to alcohol and dangerous drugs, such as ketamine and ecstasy, which sent her into a dangerous cycle of addiction that took over her life. Given the striking similarities between Diddy's and Jay's treatment of women, many predict that Diddy will mention Jay's name when the trials start. One commentator correctly stated that Jay will be up next. There is no way he was unaware of R. Kelly and Diddy, especially in light of the paternity test he is evading. Imagine Beyoncé's reaction when the federal government shows up at her door. After Diddy turned on Jay-Z for a plea deal 3 months later, another commentator pointed out that since Jay-Z is as close to Diddy, has ties to Epstein Island, and has a past with Beyoncé when she was younger, he should also be under investigation. Now it's your turn to weigh in. What are your thoughts on Jay-Z's supposed ties to Diddy's criminal activity? Do you think Diddy will throw Jay-Z under the bus as well? Leave your ideas in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other shocking video.